And welcome to the Board Game Network. This is James. I'm going to be explaining how to play this game called Fantahzee Hordes and Heroes, put out by AEG. It's a card game, a dice rolling game, and to set the game up, you're going to shuffle your treasure cards, you're going to shuffle your town cards, put those both face down. You're going to take your hero cards, you're going to shuffle those up and give 5 to each player. You're going to take the horde cards or the monster cards. You're going to find the 5 boss monsters. They say boss monster right here. You're going to put those face down. You're going to take the level 2 monsters, which are the gray border ones. You're going to shuffle those up and then deal those on top of the boss monsters. And they'll all get the same number of cards. Then you're going to mix that stack up. So you're mixing the boss monsters into the level 2 monsters. And then you're going to take the level 1 monsters, which have a white border. You're going to shuffle those up and then deal those out on top. So you're getting the level 1s first, and then your boss monsters shuffled into the level 2. Okay, so that's how you start the game. You get your first phase is your action phase, and you can play up to 2 heroes and you can play up to 2 actions. Heroes are the cards that have the number up in the upper left hand corner, that's their power. And then actions are the one with the swirl up in the upper right hand corner. So I can play, and you can play these in any order. So I'll play this action. It says you get an extra die this turn. So, and that's just for this round. So when I'm done with my turn, then that gets discarded and it goes to the next person's turn. So whoever the first player is, you give this last player token to the player to the right to remember who played first, because when the game's over you finish the round to the last player. Your goal, or the end of the game, happens by killing 3 boss monsters, and that's what the doom tokens are for. When you kill one, you flip it over. So once the 3rd one has been flipped, then the game, that's the last round. And you're simply going to add up points of the monsters that you killed to determine the winner. So let's look at these monsters that I have in my hand. This one is a Steam Brute. It is 4 power. This is the faction that it's with. There's only like 3 factions. This one says you can pay 2 Steam or 3 of the same number. It's got an X's here. An X can be any number, but since there's 3 X's, it's 3 of the same number when you roll your dice. Well, how do you get Steam? Well, there's some action cards that give you Steam, but also there's a card here that says activate, get 3 Steam and a shield of 1 this turn, and it costs a die with a 1 on the die. This one says the hero costs 1 less X to activate for each of your active heroes. And then activate, you get 1 shield this turn, but it costs 5 X's, so that'd be 5 of the same number. But for every active hero, so every hero that you've activated, you're going to subtract 1x from this. So it gets cheaper the more other heroes have been activated. This one says activate, get 3 extra dice this turn if you have at least 1 other mage hero. And a mage hero has this symbol here. If you have 1 other mage hero in your party, you get 4 extra dice instead. So let's just keep this big guy the captain, and we probably want to throw down couple of small guys. So there's my 2 heroes, up to 2 heroes, and up to 2 actions. Let's just do that for the turn. Oh, and when you're done with your setup, you're supposed to flip the top monster up. Okay, so you got 5 stacks of monsters. So that's my action phase, playing that stuff down. Then I roll 5 dice. So you just grab 5 die. You're going to roll those. And you're going to see if you can activate your heroes. Oh, and I need to gain an extra die because of my card. So this just costs 2 of the same number. So because of that, this says I get 3 extra dice. So you can roll all of your dice or any of your dice. You can get 2 re-rolls. So you can save some off to the side and re-roll these or something of that nature. But once you've actually activated a hero, so you're going to put that on the hero and slide it up to show that he's now active, has been activated. Then you cannot re-roll those dice. Those are locked in place and used. But you could say, well, you know what, I'm saving for 3 of the same kind. I got 2 3s there, so I'm going to save those off and then do a re-roll. And I could go ahead and pull those back because I really haven't used them yet on my next re-roll. So as long as I've just saved them off to the side, or maybe I've got 3 3s, but I'm not sure if I want to activate this one yet. So I just pulled it off and haven't really activated the card yet. So I get 2 re-rolls. And I don't know. There's 2 5s, there's 2 3s. So let's pretend that we got 2 5s. We pull that one up and so we've got those 2 active. Now this one here, if I would have played this one says activate, get 3 steam and a shield this turn. So that one would help pay for this one, because these ones with steam, it says steam or X's. You can either pay the steam or pay the X's. So you want to look for other ones that say get steam to pay for the ones that use steam. Or you can roll the dice. Okay, so I've done my roll. Now I attack, and I just add up the value of all of my activated heroes. If they did not activate, you do not add them up. So I've got a total of 5. And so I'm looking at the power up here. And you really should try to kill this one if you can. This one is called the Vanguard, the one that's next to the town, because if you don't kill the monster next to the town, then you flip up the town card and do what it says. And that's always negative. It gives you negative points at the end of the game, and there might be some things on there. So in this case, I'm going to attack this one. And that's a power of 4, and I have 5. So there's only 1 left, and there's nothing else here with a 1. I could choose to flip this one up and attack it, but if I do that, then I've got a face-up one next to the town, and it's not likely that this is going to be a power of 1 or less. So I'm not going to do that. So I take this one, and you'll notice it also has a treasure chest here. And the treasure chest means that I get one of these treasures to put underneath one of my cards. And this is a single treasure. Some will have a double treasure. And all of your cards here have a single treasure side and a double treasure side. So you just put it under whichever hero you want, and you put the correct side down, whether you have a single or double. And you're going to take that and you're going to put that in your pile of cards that you're keeping to score your points at the end of the game. This says activate to get 1 shield this turn. And shields subtract from the damage you take. Now once you've attacked, you are going to look at down here, it'll say counterattack. I don't have any face up, but just like this says ambush 1, there will be ones that say counterattack 1 or counterattack 2. So if you attacked one and killed it, it gets a counterattack and you're going to take that much damage. So if you would have a counterattack of 1, you would have to lose one of yours because a power of 1 or a power of 4. You would subtract any shields prior to taking damage though. So if you reduce the damage down to 0, then you're not going to take any damage. However, this treasure doesn't come out until you're done with your attack. So you're not going to get that as a shield this turn. So I'm not going to take any damage because I did not have a counterattack. And you do, even if you say you have a counterattack of 1 and your smallest hero is a 4, you're still going to lose a hero because you have to reduce that all the way down to 0. So once the counterattack is done, you're going to take treasure. That's when you take the treasure. And then you have the Horde Phase. And the Horde Phase, if there's a face-up monster in the Vanguard, then you're going to take the town card, you're going to flip it up, you're going to see what it says. It says discard a treasure card attached to one of your heroes. So if you had a treasure card there, you'd have to discard it. And then you put this one also in your pile of monsters to score at the end of the game, and that's -2 points. And then all of your monster cards that you defeated, all of the ones that have face down cards now get flipped face up. And once they're face up, you're going to look and see what the ambush is. In total ambush on all 5 decks. So these ones that are face down that you do not see, they could flip up and ambush you. Plus the ones that were already face up. So I got an ambush of 2, which means I take 2 damage. I do have my treasure card out at this time. I do have my treasure card out when this ambush happens. And you can only have 1 treasure card per hero. So I've got an ambush of 2. I'm going to subtract 1 shield from the ambush value, and I still take 1 point of damage. So I'm either going to lose my 4 or I'm going to lose my 1. I don't know. I guess I'll lose my 4 guy. So that's the Horde Phase. And then your end phase is to draw 4 cards from the hero deck. And you have to discard down to 5 cards. So you're going to look through there 3, 4, 5. And you're going to discard any of your actions there. And you can only ever have 5 cards out, 5 hero cards in play at a time. So if you ever play more than that, then you have to discard a hero. If you ever want to replace a treasure card, you're going to have to get rid of, discard one off to put one on. And your treasure cards, they can only go on activated heroes. They cannot go on heroes that did not participate in the battle. So then the turn passes to the player to your left, and then they attack. And you're going to go until you have defeated 3 boss monsters. And the boss monster is going to be down here somewhere, and they are significantly stronger than the other ones. You'll notice this one has a counterattack and an ambush value. And then here's your victory point value in the lower right hand corner. That's what you add up at the end of the game. And once you defeat a boss monster, you flip the doom counter over to keep track of how many boss monsters you've killed. If there's a tie for the winner, then whoever has killed the most monsters is going to break the tie. And if there's still a tie, it's who has the most heroes out. So that's how you play Fantahzee put out by AEG. Make sure you tune into all of our videos here at the Board Game Network. Hey, be sure to like our videos and subscribe to the YouTube channel.